Happy New Year 2024. Today's episode is a timely one. It's one that I've wanted to share for the majority of 2023. A message that I think we should all hear and really take in once and for all, just as humans in general. And it's one that I think if we can really start to step into the new year, will make a huge difference, will change a lot of the frustrations and tragedies and atrocities that many of us are hoping not to carry into the new year or to do something about. So I hope you are ready for a message of hope, of inspiration, a message that will awaken something in you. This is an episode that you should share with a friend who you think is ready to hear it. And I surely hope that you are. Welcome to the next episode of Becoming Yourself. What if all of your problems stem from the fact that you do not really know who you are? What if the world you live in is nothing more than a mirror of everything that you have decided you are right now? And what if the secret to your miracles, to receiving and becoming the dreams that are bigger than you, lie in becoming yourself? I'm Dr. Holda Gueye, and welcome to the Becoming Yourself podcast, the I Am journey to healing your body and your life. Welcome home. Welcome to episode 4 of Becoming Yourself podcast, where we will journey through awakening to the truth of who you really are. Recently, I was listening to a YouTube video done by some spiritual leaders that I really love and respect. And they were talking about the war that is happening between Israel and Palestine, all the atrocities that were happening there, and how disappointed they were that the spiritual community wasn't really rising to say anything, and that, many people either were just kind of taking a stand and choosing a side, and that sometimes that choice was not very well informed, but generally just expressing their frustration with not holding leaders accountable, with not speaking up and talking about how horrible what was really happening on the ground was, and that we needed to take a stand and really partake in this war between good and evil. A few months earlier, I was also listening to another spiritual teacher whom I also love and respect, who was talking about child trafficking and was promoting the movie that was made for this purpose. For some of you who have seen it, you probably walked away from that movie feeling very down and very sad. And he was just, urging us to stop pretending like it didn't exist and to start making sure that we hold our leaders accountable for making laws that were much more strict in trying to stop the perpetrators of child trafficking. Now, I give these two examples because they're very triggering for many of you who have followed it or who hear about it. I don't think anybody can see or think about child trafficking or the tragedies that are happening in Gaza and that have happened in Israel and not have an emotional reaction, not feel just viscerally disgusted with what humans are capable of doing. And so I'm using these two examples as a gateway into that because it's going to stir in you emotions that are human and that are going to be necessary for today's conversation, for today's message. I want to offer a different perspective. I think that for most of human history, our approach to our world has always been to have a bad guy and a good guy. And then the next step is to rally people to take sides and hopefully to take the side of who they deemed as the good guy and to start pointing fingers as to who isn't doing enough and what they should be doing. And look at where that has led us. We have definitely made progress, and it is necessary to hold our leaders accountable. It is necessary to take action in this world in order to make change. But if you look carefully, for those of you who follow any whether it's, climate change or the two topics we're talking about, the progress just seems very slow. And sometimes you can really start to feel like, this is just never going to go away. It's never going to really disappear. It'll always be a problem, and it's going to be a never-ending war on fill in the blank. I'm sure many of you have felt that way. And so why is that? Why is it that it seems like the more we actually fight against what we have deemed as evil, the more it seems like there's so much more work to be done? And child trafficking, or whoever the victim is in any of these examples that I have given, are truly victims. And what is being done to them is absolutely wrong and horrendous. But what if I told you that it is the very nature of wars, whether it's an actual physical war or this war that we declare on something that we want to stop, that is keeping it alive and going? And so you would say, Dr. Holda, then what are you suggesting? That we do nothing? Not at all. What I want you to see is that our world can only reflect what is happening within us. Our world is reflecting the way that we deal with our own matters within ourselves and in our own personal lives. We label things as good and bad, and we try to blame something outside of ourselves as a reason why something isn't working. And we hope and pray and wish and try to change this person outside of ourselves that has been blamed for whatever isn't working. And we maybe make some progress on the surface level, but we never really achieve the change we're looking for. And this is what's happening on a global scale. And so what needs to happen for true change? Well, one of the biggest lessons that we are being called to learn as human beings, whether it's in 2024 or in a near future, is that we are not separate. That our divine true nature is one essence, simply manifesting as unique facets, unique expressions of the same one essence. We are being called to learn, to know once and for all that our separation is an illusion. If you listen to one of the prior episodes about the messages of our emotions, we know that the emotion of sadness is there to tell us that we have forgotten that we are one, that we are loved. And so, when we really know our unity, when we know it without a shadow of a doubt, can you truly make anything good or bad? Can you truly take sides? This doesn't take away from the fact that there is a perpetrator and a victim. But my first reaction when I saw that child trafficking movie was, my God, what kind of trauma, what kind of programming, what kind of twisted, diseased mind does someone need to have to rape a child? And I was filled with so much empathy for the trauma that is alive in the perpetrator of the human traffickers. And this can sound outrageous to many that hear this. But when you get to a point where you truly believe and know and embody the unity that we are, then you can extend compassion for the horrendous trauma that is required to break a human mind so much that they can do such a thing. And this applies to those who created atrocious acts to the people of Israel and to the people of Gaza. You see, the path forward, the only way that we will truly make true change is to end the wars that we wage within ourselves. The war between our good, quote unquote, and our bad. We each struggle back and forth between our knowing that we are divine and then our belief that we are unworthy. And so the way forward is to awaken. Because when you awaken, when you fully believe in your true nature, when you fully can love every aspect of yourself, your light and your shadow, when you fully know your power, who you are, where you came from. And I'm not talking about where you came from your time of birth, but I'm talking about something so much more than that. When you awaken, the solutions to our problems are clear as day. You're able to see whom you once thought was simply evil as worthy of the same love you give yourself, as worthy of healing. Because you can chase behind the child traffickers all day and have more and more laws and more and more ways to catch them. But I promise you that if we do not heal what is broken, there will just be more down the pipeline. And this is why we feel like we are in this never-ending war on the things we want to change in this world. And you can't have compassion to heal the perpetrator if you do not know who you are, if you do not awaken to the truth, if you have wars within yourself. The solution to all our problems is for more and more of us to awaken to the truth of who we are, to awaken to our divine spark, because we each have talents and contributions within our light that only we can deliver. Because in this awakening lies a love and compassion that you can't get any other way. And the more you awaken, the more you entice those around you to awaken. And then you don't need to point fingers. You don't need to beg leaders or convince them to do the right thing. For if they are also awakened, the right thing is obvious. And so in my opinion, our goal, alongside all the laws and the structures that we are trying to erect, our true goal should be to awaken. And it is in that state that we will make the most effective laws, create the most effective structures. It is in becoming ourselves that we will heal this planet. The answer doesn't lie outside of us. The answer isn't trying to make someone the bad guy. The answer is stepping into your true nature, where all answers live. And so I invite you in this new year to do just that, to share this podcast with those you love, to tune in as we journey together, hopefully to a new world, a new earth. Happy New Year.